it is fine if you go in and out. Just in as much as you can, I guess. And tell me what you've been up to. And it is literally showtime, so I'm going to turn off this little part that says show will start at 7:30. If I can get my mouse to work. Because we no longer need that. Let's just turn that right off. We don't need no stinking text overlay. What do we think? We're fancy or something? Okay, so hello and good evening and all that stuff. Right now for Winey Wednesday, I'm not even having wine. I'm having sparkling water, peach nectar flavored. It tastes nothing like a peach. And if I want wine, I'm going to have more of that blended red we had last week. In fact, you know what? I'm going to pour some of the blended red in my peach nectar and see what a blended red peach mimosa would taste like. I mean, why not? Let's just get crazy with it. There we go. I'm just getting crazy with it, guys. Well, it's definitely not orange anymore. We are now nearly black. Okay, I do not recommend peach nectar with red wine. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do. Okay, that's a confusing taste sensation. So for tonight's Wine With Me Wednesday, I'm going to be drinking an oddity over there, and we're going to be doing a new kind of art journaling. I think I have showed you a couple of times before that I have this entire stack of journals that I, like so many other people who love journals, have this problem where we don't actually use them. There is a fear of using journals because we don't want to get it wrong, or because we are afraid of the blank page. What do you do with the blank page? So one of the very first things I did on the Wednesday shows was start showing different ways to journal, because it doesn't have to be. Yeah, we're surviving winter in the north. The Twin Cities is supposed to get hit pretty dang hard. Although, they promised me a storm and it went south a little bit. So I'm not going to get the fun I thought I was. Anyway, so today I was doing some work upstairs, and I already don't know where I put them, but I found 4 more partially used or empty journals. Okay, great. I love books. I can't help it, right? So what I did was I came up with this idea to start another art journal, and our other one is all about colors, and we're almost done with the color wheel in that one. This one I want to do an inspiration book. So over there, that way, if I ever do a studio tour, you guys can see what the heck I'm talking about back there. Or I could just switch cameras even. Here, should we switch cameras? I'm looking a fright, guys. I'm looking a fright. Forgive me for this, but I'm going to switch cameras so you can see what the heck I'm talking about. If I can pull up. Yes, I can. There we are. Ooh, hi. But I'm looking a fright. Okay, see back there? Actually, right there is a fern fiddlehead made of glass, and there is a zebra, and there is a bit of a dangle thingy made of crystal and charms and beads and stuff, and there's some other things in there. That is just one of the cubes in my new wall of supplies. So I saved 1 cube in my wall to be what I'm calling an inspiration station. Okay, so just favorite things that make me happy are going to go in there. This book is going to go in there, and it's going to hold collages or art pages made out of things, flat things, paper things that make me happy. So one of them, I think, is going to be this. Take a look at this guy. So this is a Butterfly by Moonlight, apparently. And this is the very first stamping project I did with the really cool Lavinia stamps that I have. And it's not very good, people. It just isn't. But I was proud of it anyway, because it's definitely, you know, a twilight sky and a pretty glowy butterfly thingy, right? And I think it's really pretty. So I think this might end up in this book. The other things that are going to end up in this book, I'm going to show you right now. But the first thing I want you to know is that I took, it looks like about half, and that's what I meant to do. I took half the pages out of this journal. So I'm going to set the book aside for a second and show you. Here's the pages that I took out, and I trimmed off the spiral edge, and now I just have this whole thing, slew of papers. Now I don't think that they're all going to fit back in there, because you saw how fat the papers get, right? When you're done doing the art on them, they get ridiculously thick and warped and all kinds of stuff. But what I'm going to do is what you saw me starting with, is I have this tray, because you know how wet this gets all the time. I've taken one of the pages, which I think was a mistake, because look at all the wrinkles I have. Holy buckets, man. I should have glued a couple pages together. But I have washi taped the page down. I have done a coating of gesso on the page, and I'm just letting that dry for right now to the side. And here's what we're going to do with it. I had a drawer over on the side where I keep putting things in there, because I get inspired by scrapbook paper, right? And all kinds of other stuff. And I have been hoarding little bits so that hopefully I don't hoard too much. Here is a page of rice paper that I've kept. I had several of these, and they're all used up except this one. Here is another one, and I think we might be tearing this book with the raven out. This little section right here, I think we might be tearing that out for today. Here's another one. I don't like this page by itself, but I like the pieces. In a totally different vein, here is one of my favorite phrases and one of my favorite cards ever. Oh, and it looks like I already started cutting one out. So we might use this, I'm not sure. Not a creature was stirring, not even a moose. And then the favorite phrase is Merry Christmas. So when I was yeah, it does even get winter, doesn't it? We're supposed to get another 11 inches tonight of snow. So I don't know what that's gonna mean. Well, hello, Mr. Fred. Nice to see you. Lydia is here too. We don't get to see Lydia very often, but here's Lydia. Hi, Fred. Fred, I was just explaining that we're doing a new kind of journaling tonight. And Christy, did you get to stay, or are you off crafting in the mines? You know. Anyways, when I was still working, I did a project based on this card with the little kids, and they made Merry Christmases to take home for the holidays. And this is why it's been a favorite, because look at that face and tell me if you can resist that face. I couldn't. Look at his face. It's the bestest face. Merry Christmas, and I can't even tell you the number of years I have kept this card. I don't even celebrate Christmas, but I couldn't resist. So there's this that I have saved, and this is all that's left of the whole box of Christmas cards. So I have to create something a little more permanent, or I will be sad because I will no longer have my moose. Here is a thing that I love very much, and I can't explain the whys or hows or anything, but I love old-fashioned street lamps. I mean, you don't have to explain everything, right? It's just 'cause. Just 'cause. I just do. So I've saved one of those. Here is material from a shirt that I once loved very much, and now I'm kind of over it as a shirt, but I kind of like the latent image, right? I like tone-on-tone art things. So I saved a couple pieces of that. This is, I don't know where, this is green satin of some sort from some project or another, but I love the way this particular fabric looks in the light. And the depth of color on this is just kind of amazing. I just love deep, deep colors. So there's that. Yeah, kind of, why not? Yeah, that's the whole thing. Why not? I have these. So these are appliques that I intended to use on a different journal. And it was supposed to go in the market, and it never did because I couldn't make myself use them for a journal. I wanted to keep them for myself. So I might keep one of these and use them on one of these pages, and then, you know, give up the other two. Oh, but look how nice this looks. Oh, wait. Is this a thing? Oh, it's too matchy-matchy, isn't it? Wait a minute, I'll try the other one. It might be too matchy-matchy. What about on that side? That one on that side. Ooh, I want it to work, but it doesn't, guys. I want it to work, but it doesn't work. So we're going to have to figure this out. But that's a possibility and another thing that I've kept over the years. And then I am not going to go through all this, but I am going to confess this. Oh, wait. I'll do the confession in just a second. Here's some scraps from other projects that I've kept. Not really a big deal. A couple more rice papers I kept because I love ivy. Viney things and ferny things are my favorite. This because I love doors. Don't ask me why. Again, because why not? I love doors. Bits and bobs and colors. Here's the confession part. I'm going to set this aside. Yeah, you're right, as a stamp. Yeah, I hear ya. I should maybe we'll do that tonight, Christy. That's a good idea. Okay, here's the confession. So I'm kind of in love with scrapbook paper. I get inspired by art other people do. And here is scrapbook papers out of the kits of scrapbook paper that I used to collect. And this is all the pages that I've kept for no reason whatsoever. Just because I wanted to. Because it has owls. They're cute. Because it has script that looks old and it's neato. I don't know why I kept those butterflies. Because I hate bright colors. And they're all bright colors. But I don't know. They're just neato. So this whole pile is blowing stuff all over my room. Is full of stuff that I kept because I found it inspirational for one reason or another. So, true confessions aside, I have a lot of material to create this inspiration journal, right? So we're going to get started on it. And it's all going to start with this page right here. And I don't know what that means exactly because there's enough stuff here for 50 pages. And how do you choose what page is first? I'm going to show you that in a minute too. We're going to talk about if you really, really are intimidated by the blank page and do not have the first clue what to do with, if you do not have the first clue of what to do with a journal and how to get started, I'm going to show you a bit of a trick. A bit of a trick. Okay, I said I was going to start with this, so let's go ahead and start with this. And I am not using scissors. We're going to tear. And I'll tear around this. I will tear around this Raven guy. Because one way or another we'll use him. Probably. I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. That's true. You guys do challenge me. If I hate something, you do challenge me. And you should. And you know darn well that I accept the challenge. And I may fail and I may succeed, but you'll know either way. I don't hide my failures. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so there's this thing. I don't know if you remember this particular frog, but this particular frog is in our monochrome art journal. And this is another piece of that frog. So I kind of maybe feel a wildlife thing happening. Do we feel a wildlife day and night thing happening? I don't know. Maybe. I will tear out the magical door. I better set this aside. It's still drying anyway, and I'm having trouble doing stuff over it. So, again, tearing because torn edges just look cooler than cut edges, I think. If you're following this as kind of a procedure thing, the tearing doesn't matter. You get your images however you want to get your images. Tear them, cut them, stamp them, die cut them. I've seen people do that and it makes me jealous, and I want a die cut machine and a bunch of die cuts, a bunch of dies. Except another art form is about the last thing I need. I already have more art forms than I can keep up with. So, all right. So I'm seeing at least 2 or 3 different pages going on here. I don't know how this is going to come together in the end. Let's pull out of this page. Let's pull out just this little ivy. Not the tiniest ivy, but just this. Oh, I pulled the tip off one of the ivy leaves. Jeez. That's a bummer. That will bug me when I go to use that one. I think the way that I can get away with using all of these, you know, sort of disconnected items on one page is that this is the intro to me page. And I really think that I could totally do that. But I don't know if I have to, because I like the way this is looking together. And I certainly like the way this is going to look together. I don't know. What do you think? Laser cutting is fun too. Fred! Okay, wait a minute. How about black and white using only bright colors? Well, you know what? I don't mind a challenge, right? You challenge me all you want. I would say that one might take me a long time to figure out. Black and white using only bright colors. I'm sensing a problem. So I kind of want just this square design right here, but again, I want torn edges, and look how tight this is to the edges. So I am going to cheat on this one and use my pretend torn edge scissor. Just because it can help me around this. Yup. You know what I wanted to confess to, though? Another confession. Maybe it's confession night. Art confessions, that is, though. But, when we first started doing this, I often said how yellow was such a traumatic color for me, and that there really was real life trauma around it, and that I have a really hard time dealing with yellow. And then yellow ended up being a lot of ours favorite color in the color book. And then I noticed that I am not disliking yellow as much as I used to. So something about that is that I seem to be reclaiming yellow. When I was a kid, lemon yellow especially was one of my favorite crayons. Not necessarily because of the yellow, right? Black and white can be both bright. I don't mind that part, and I would agree with you, and I would accept that as a challenge and really try to pull that off, Miss Christie. I'm with you, right? The part up there that I would have a problem with is using only bright colors. It is power. Thank you. Thank you. And hello, Ginger. And hello, Ginger. I am reclaiming yellow. And it's been a long journey to reclaim yellow. But I'm doing it. Reclamation is power is a He-Man quote. I mean, I suppose that's possible. But I think maybe it's just the way she said it that made you think He-Man. I'm pretty sure. Power! Miss Ginger, if she is still here, I would like you to meet a very good friend of mine named Heidi. You will hear me often call her Lydia, just the same as you hear me call Michael Fred. And, you know, other people, other things. But I don't know if she's here for sure. She's in the mountains and it's snowstorming terribly, just like it is here in Minnesota. So, you know, things are iffy, but she's in and out. So keep an eye out for Lydia. I mean, Heidi. And we are doing a new kind of, art journaling for a new book. I confessed a little earlier that I found 4 more unused journals just today. So I've added them to my unused journal stock. And this one is going to be an inspiration journal. Not the same as the sample journal that I'm making, but just things that, yes, Christy is sometimes Chip. But I haven't gotten used to saying that for a long time yet. So that one flips in my brain a lot still. Yes, you know what? I rename everybody. That's not even just because people are gamer friends or I've known them by gamer names first or anything. I actually rename people in real life a lot too. I don't understand it. And I don't know why people let me get away with that silliness. But it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, and it's all meant in silliness. Anyways, first thing I'm going to do after getting this gesso down, and it's not, oh gosh, it's not dry yet. I think I'm going to gesso up a bunch of pages for this book, though, so that we can do this. We can get a jump start on this a bunch easier next time. So I have spent the last week since I've seen you under the weather, still, not again or anything new, but rather than getting my act back together, I was at the end of the show last week and I said, I'm a little tired. I have slept more than not slept since I've seen you last. So, and again, not complaining. It just is the way life is for me, right? That's my stuff. But instead of just picking something that I already have ready to go and would be easy for us to work on tonight, I decided at the last minute to go ahead and come to the new format and go ahead and start the new journal method that isn't even really decided yet, with materials that I hadn't even gathered yet. So that's how I set myself up for success. Just get the panic and adrenaline going like crazy, and then, no problem. Actually, there's some truth to that. I don't know if you guys are the same. Fred, I think you probably are the same, but adrenaline helps me a lot. If I'm late, I'm great. I did not mean to rhyme that, and that sounds super lame. But adrenaline does do something for me. And I know I'm not the only person. Alright, so I am doing just a bit of metallic background right into the gesso, because it's not dry and we really need to move on. And I didn't get out my heat gun, which I really should have, because then I could dry this stuff. You are a source of motivation. You are a source of motivation and healing, apparently, because how could I reclaim yellow if you guys didn't challenge me to use yellow? And once upon a time, you did challenge me to use yellow. On this very first inspiration journal, art journaling page, I am using my metallic watercolors as a background because I love these stupid metallic watercolors. These are on Amazon if you want to go find them. And they're, just throw those anywhere. I just pinched my finger in the lid. Ow! Here's what they are. Divical? I don't even know what that says, but whatever it is, they're not very expensive and they're really nice. Like, they seem to have a lot of pigment in them. I can make it, I don't know. If you want to play with metallic watercolors on the cheap, I just wanted to play and it turned out to be a fabulous idea. In a minute, I will make some of this color move. No, that's not what I want. I need to clean my brush better and maybe go straight for the lemon yellow. Oh, there's Heidi. There's Lydia. Aww. I like that. I think Lucy is a great name. Definitely should have gotten this gessoed earlier and got this dried. This is now just a big muddy mess. And I'm going to pull out the heat gun and get this to dry a little bit. but I am going to push the yellow and the gray over a bit. Kind of liking this. Just going to push it around a bit. So, Christy, you have picked up watercolor, and Ginger, you are a great watercolor artist. Heidi, I don't know what medium you use, but Heidi is a painter too. You guys must just laugh hysterically at me when you see me do this silliness. You guys all know what you're doing, and I just go throw stuff around. But, I mean, I'm just creating a background, right? So it's okay. Isn't that, I mean, yeah, I'm just showing that it's okay. If you don't know what you're doing, you can still play. It's not an exclusive club where if you're not good enough, you can't play along. I personally don't know enough of a difference in the watercolor world to know what I like, because I am not a painter by any means. I am not a painter. I would like to know what you guys like. Heidi, Christy, Ginger, what do you guys like to use best in your watercoloring? Because for me, I think I'm really just a collage artist, and it doesn't matter what I'm putting together. It's not about a medium or anything. It's all about design for me. Everything is about shapes and colors and balances, or even off balances, right? If I want things to be all askew or look trashy, then I try to get it to. And if I want things to be perfectly balanced in color and size and weight and all that stuff, then I try to do that. But it's really all about design for me, regardless of what I use. And that makes me a non-professional at everything. At least so far, it makes me not professional at anything in particular, because I don't get enough experience with any one medium. Because I always want to try something new. I always want to play with new toys. New toys are the best. I always say this, but I hope this is not too loud. I hope the gun is not driving everybody insane. This is drying super fast, though. It shouldn't take long to get it. Ooh, I just burnt a spot. It's drying really fast. Okay, that's good enough. So now that I have this out, you prefer the tube paints? So is there a reason for that? I mean, I can make up a bunch of reasons in my head, but again, I wouldn't know. But I would assume it's because they have more pigment in them, or because they're easier to mix, or anything like that. All right, so it's already 5 after 8, and I'm only supposed to go till 8:30. I'm going to try to keep this till 8:30. So if this has to be a first step in this project, then so be it, just like we did before. But I am going to try to make some commitments so you actually see some progress in this video. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, other than hanging out, which I love, but you know. So if this is my background, I now need to create some visual interest and visual texture. So what if we go ahead and stick with this guy and have him over there and that over there, and then this maybe under here? Underwear. Ah, she said underwear. All right, just took a trip to junior high there for a minute. Seriously, that has to be one of the lamest jokes I've ever said. Can't even believe I said it. I'm a little ashamed. Okay. I really think that doesn't fit. It doesn't really work in here, but I want it to. Well, it doesn't matter if you want it to. It just doesn't work. Does the ivy work? No. Oh, maybe. The ivy maybe works down there. Is the frog a whole different story? Yes, the frog is a whole different story. So let's throw those to the side and see if we can figure out some other things to go on here. Or maybe even just do this part and get some edging on and save the next part for sentiments. Because maybe this is all this page needs. Oh, okay, got it. And Heidi used oils and acrylics. I think I knew that. I think I knew that, and now that you say it, I remember. That doesn't go at all. Wrong attitude. Wrong attitude. You got the wrong attitude. I don't know, guys. I kind of want to commit to this because I have a feeling once I get this locked down right, I think that this brighter piece of ivy will work, but I'm not entirely sure. This rice paper is different than the rest, so I'm not sure how this will blend. But these two right here on that background are looking really cool to me. What about something off of this page? I think I'm going to tear a section right out of the middle of this just to get some of the lines and numbers and stuff. I don't need a star chart anyway. I'll just rip it to pieces and use the pieces. So, what if we start with this right here? It's a little too literal for me. Let's just kilter it. Or off kilter it. There. Okay. Is this kind of telling a story? Guess what, guys? I'm committing to this. We're gonna do this. Let me find the gesso. Not that one. Where's my clear gesso? Well, craptastic. If I can't find it quick, I will move on to a different form of gluing, but I'm going to look on my shelf for my gesso. Aha! That was quick. I forgot the one I had was white. And that would do no good. Let's put these down with some clear, and then I think we will be toward the end for tonight. And we'll set some goals for working on this page again next time and giving it a little more style. And I'll show you how it's going to go in the new journal. So let's do that. Let's do this. And then the door. I'm changing the weight of this as I go. I hope I'm going to be happy with this because I just moved this quite a bit. I don't know if you noticed, but when I went to glue it, I didn't like it anymore. So now I have moved this because the weight of it just, I don't know. It just struck me that it needed to be over here instead of in the middle, more toward the middle where it was. Okay. And this guy. Oh. Yep, I like that better. Not quite that high though. Oh, that's too even with the door. Now I'm right back where I started. Okay, this guy's a problem for me. I'm gonna cut off part of one of the books and see if I can get a little bit better balance. No, I got a paintbrush in my mouth. It was harder to get started. There's more to do. But I sure like the screen that I can see and that I can see what you guys are saying. And there seems to be a lot less lag. How about you guys? Is this better or not better or no difference to you guys? I'm kind of liking the idea of having my stuff all in one place. I mean, the reason we had it in several places at one time was because we had some lofty ideas or wishes that just never came to fruition, right? So now maybe just backing off all of those lofty ideas and keeping it easier is just smarter. Also, Miss Christie, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm hoping that we can get to a point where you can help me with the Discord thing and I will learn how to use it and have people be able to talk to me on here. I know that that's a possible thing. I see it on other YouTube channels. And I just don't know how to do it. I'm just completely lost. Oh, okay. That's good to know. You know what? I'm going to dry this just a little bit, and then I'm going to show you how this is going to go in the new book. And why I decided to do this. And we're still going to finish it up next week. So if I need to, I'll just tape it down again. But, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. Or we'll just make a big mess like we used to. A big lottery disaster. There's nothing wrong with playing in the mud. I would say, now that you mention it, seems to be great from Ginger and no weird glitches from you guys. I would say that it seems clearer, and with the far less lag, I feel more connected to you guys, if that makes sense. I never did get used to the lag. It's so off-putting for me. It's like sensory deprivation. And yeah, YouTube is why I thought again about the Discord part. Because I've seen other YouTubers during their live shows implement Discord. And I really feel like we can do that. Okay, so I taped this guy down. And one of the big reasons is to contain the mess. But the other thing is that if I can remember what order the tape is in, gosh, I hope I don't regret this. Yep, I'm gonna regret it. I'm gonna regret this like you wouldn't believe. All right, let's do this a different way. So I was hoping I could get the tape off, and I need a different trimmer. I was hoping I could get the tape off and have a frame. But I did not watch where I was gluing enough, and now I have a bird butt glued to the frame. So I'm about to rip up the whole collage if I'm not careful. So instead of wrecking the whole thing, let's cut it off a different way. How much time we got? Ooh, we have 14 minutes. That's plenty of time. I am rushing more than I need to. Just slow your butt down, lady. That time I cut off way more than I needed to. I think I'm going to do that up here too. There we go. So this is the idea, that I take the pages that I cut out of the journal, I create an art piece separately on those pages, and then I get to go put it back in my journal. So here's what I wanted to say for you guys watching, or for anybody who sees this in the future and watches all the way through. Here is my big tip, and a big tip that other people that I know of use also. If you are intimidated by a journal because you open this book and it is pristine and you don't know what to do and you're afraid you'll get it wrong, don't do this. Just go like this. Open the book. Any old page. It doesn't matter. And just whatever you're going to do in this journal, just do it somewhere here. I'm trying to keep it down to an hour now because it seems to be all I can really handle since I've been out of the hospital. Also, it's a decent length for YouTube videos, and it speaks well with my other stuff. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, right? I respect your decision. Tell me what to do, Fred. Oh. You ask me a question and all of a sudden I'm all insecure and falling apart. Okay, so we painted a background. We then put in some visual texture. I'm loving the way this page looks already, and it's got a ways to go. So this is what I would do, is just open the journal to any old page, and it doesn't matter what kind of journal you have. Like one of the journals that I make with all the fancy pages in it, or just a plain page bound journal, or a lined journal like this one. It doesn't matter. And just because this is lined does not mean you need to write on the lines. No, that's a stupid rule. I'm just gonna glue stuff in this writing journal. And then maybe on this side, I will write stuff. Maybe on this side, I will write why I like the stuff on this side. Except that I don't really know why I like doors. But I like doors and boxes and containers. And I always have thought, and books. Actually, books kind of apply too. I have always said and thought that the reason I have a weakness for containers and doors and closed books is because they are loaded with potential. You didn't mean to make me insecure? Yeah, it just seems to be all I can really handle. It is taking me so long, guys, to get better. It really just is. It's ridiculous how off I am. You're a fan of mason jars? See, mason jars are loaded with potential too. They just are. Especially when they're empty. They're just loaded with potential. All right, so yeah, that's how that's going to go. We're going to create some kind of border on this, do some of the painting and trimming. I will have to think of a sentiment for this page in particular. We'll have to get some dimension on this. We've definitely made visual texture, but I want actual dimension. So I'm not sure what that'll be. Oh, wait. Where? I have one thing I can show you guys. This is supposed to be a secret. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's not even properly done yet, but this is a cover for a new journal I'm making. It's not even kind of done yet. It's a big fat mess. It doesn't even show nice on here. It just looks like a big fat mess even. But it's not gonna be. It's gonna be super special, and it's a secret. So whatever you do, don't tell. All right, so I am looking for that lamp that I showed you guys early on, but I have it buried under all the other things I showed you. Can I put a street lamp with this? No, that's just silly. That doesn't go at all. I have a bunch of other pieces though that are chipboard, and I will be finding those, and we will be adding something. The Christmas doesn't go, but he's still a favorite. I could possibly find some trees, not this cartoon tree. Yeah. Secret. It's only available for public viewing for millions. But that's all right. All right, so in the end, peach nectar, sparkling water, plus red blended wine is not very tasty. I thought I'd get something, a nice fruity sparkling something. I did not. So for Wine With Me Wednesday, my beverage of the evening does not come recommended. I don't know what beverage you guys had, because we usually used to start out sharing our beverages, and we have not done that for a really long time. So maybe we should get back to doing that, sharing our beverages. What else should we do? We only got a few minutes left. What kinds of things should we look forward to in our future shows? Private eyes must keep to themselves. It's true. All right. I wish we could have got farther on this. When we had 2 hours, I got pages done, didn't I? Maybe I should try to go back up to 2 hours. half gallon of filtered tap water. Look at you doing the healthy. I think Ginger also does the water. I am definitely not doing the healthy today. Can you even see that very well? It's a little glary, isn't it? Because of all the wrinkles. I don't have a choice, Ginger. I mean, I can't push myself is what I'm saying, is because I have slept more than I've been awake for the whole past week. I swear. That might be an exaggeration, I'm not sure, but it's so close that I'm not sure. I thought I was doing better, and my body said, nope. Well, the water part will help you digest all that unhealthy food. It'll be all right, Fred. It'll be all right. Oh. All right. I suppose we'll just call it here. I will pull some stuff together. We will get some texture on here. We'll get sentiments on here. We will do some highlighting and lowlighting on here, and it's going to turn out to be a fabulous first page in this inspiration art journal, in this new one. And then after that, next week, we're going to start yet another new art journal concept. Maybe, well, yeah, you know what? Okay, so here's the thing I got to say before we go. I have thought about ways to do a writing journal, but watching me write would be really boring. And there's a lot of stuff that we're just not going to share yet. Maybe later. So I don't know how to do a writing journal is basically what I'm saying. But we're going to keep doing different kinds of art journals. Different kinds, guys. All right, that's it. We have our plan. We're ready for next week. Thanks for hanging out, and it was so good to see you guys. And Lydia, if you can hear me or see me or anything, thank you so much for stopping in, and call me or stop in again, please, dear. All right, bye everybody. Good night.